If there's one constant in real estate, it's that things are always changing. Interest rates, inventory, buyer demand, it's just one big cycle. So if you want to build a career that doesn't just get tossed around by these waves, but actually learns to surf them, well, the secret isn't just about grinding harder. It's about having a foundation that's absolutely rock solid. And that's what we're going to dig into right now, the blueprint for that foundation. Just look at these two completely different worlds. On one hand, you've got the strong market, the good times. Deals are flying, you can barely keep up, and any little mistakes kind of get glossed over because there's just so much business. But then the market shifts, and all of a sudden, those little inefficiencies, they become painful. The stress just skyrockets, and any crack in your business, any weakness in your process, it's suddenly out there for the whole world to see. So let me paint you a picture of what this really looks like. Imagine two different agents. They're both talented, they both work hard, and they're in the exact same city, facing the exact same market correction. Everything's equal, but their careers are about to go into very, very different directions. See, it really all boils down to one simple question. Where are you spending your energy? The agent who has solid systems in place, they get to spend their day actually advising their clients, building those relationships, and thinking 5 steps ahead. But the other agent, the one without that support, they're just stuck. They're putting out fires, fixing problems, constantly in reactive mode. Their focus is completely pulled away from what matters most, the client. And living that day-to-day reality totally changes your mindset. I mean, one agent is confidently steering their clients through whatever comes their way because they're backed by a proven plan. The other one, they just feel overwhelmed, right? They're bogged down in all the complexity, and every single day feels like an uphill battle. It's the same market, but two totally different experiences. So you have to wonder, right? What is this invisible force that separates them? It's not about who works harder. It's not about talent. So what's the one thing that lets one agent soar while the other one is just trying to stay afloat? Well, the answer isn't some huge secret, but it is something a lot of agents tend to overlook. It's the anatomy of their support system, the brokerage blueprint. This is the powerhouse engine working behind the scenes that completely changes the game. So what does this blueprint actually look like? Well, it's really built on 4 key pillars. First up, you have proven transaction workflows, which make every deal feel smooth and predictable. Then you've got compliance oversight, taking care of all the little details and protecting you from risk. On top of that, you have clear communication standards, so everyone's always on the same page. And, tying it all together is the operational support team, the people who handle the back-end stuff so you can focus on what you're best at. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Systems sounds rigid, like it's going to box you in, but that's not it at all. A better way to think about it is like a trellis for a climbing plant. It provides the structure, it provides the support, which actually frees you up to grow. It gives you the consistency you need to be flexible and creative with how you serve your clients. Okay, this all leads us to what I think is the most critical takeaway here. It requires a pretty major shift in how you think about the very structure of your business. For way too long, agents have just looked at brokerage systems as, well, overhead. Just another cost, a line item on the budget. In today's market, that kind of thinking isn't just old school, it's genuinely dangerous. You have to start seeing these systems for what they really are. They aren't a cost center, they are your protection. And what does that protection actually get you in the real world? Well, it's what lets you stay steady when the market gets choppy. It's how you can manage your clients' expectations with total clarity, adjust your strategies on a dime, and stay productive and profitable, no matter what's happening out there. So this all brings us to one last very personal question. Think of it as a litmus test for your own career. You have to ask yourself, is the foundation I'm standing on right now truly strong enough to handle the storms that we all know are coming? Because look, markets are always going to have waves. That's the one thing you can absolutely count on in this business. So the only question that really matters is this. When that next big wave hits, is your brokerage going to be your anchor, holding you steady, or are you going to get swept out to sea?